So today I'm going to be comparing Ramp's news websites to The Guardian's website. As you can see, The Guardian is a very large website, which is one of the key differences you see as soon as you go onto Ramp's news. Ramp's news, as it is specifically a niche website as well as production company, we do not have as much information as The Guardian holds. Therefore, our page is a lot smaller. It only consists of a couple of pieces of information. This was something that we decided to come up as a production company, as we wanted to keep our website as simplistic as possible. Therefore, when the audience come in, they're not bombarded with so much information. This is particularly key for us and not so much The Guardian, because The Guardian is a very established production company and news page which is completely international. Therefore, they'll have an astronomical amount of viewers daily. Therefore, they can afford to keep all of this information on their page, which I think is great, and hopefully we'll be able to come as established as those. One of the key things that you see straight away on our website is the fact that because we are not professionals, we have created our website on Wix, which you can see that advertisement here. If you wanted to, we could pay a yearly amount to get rid of this, but this is something that completely differentiates ourselves from The Guardian, as The Guardian is a very professional site. Something key that I'd like to highlight is our gifts and advertisement. Here we have it on our homepage, and we have the advertisement of brands that we incorporate into our news website, which is in our longboards and decks. This is because we, as an incorporation with the brand, show their products, and therefore, in order for the audience to know that, we provide this information through the gifts. Therefore, vice versa, we help them, they help us. For example, Android and The Guardian have an incorporation together where they show that Android enables any customer to view The Guardian website on any sort of technical device. For example, Android itself or smartphones as well as tablets. This, I think, is great. It highlights the similarity between both our websites, that we can have a good relationship with advertisement, and is something key for the audience to understand the opportunities that they are being given. On the same basis of the fact that you can view The Guardian on tablets, Android, smartphones, as well as a computer in its websites, we have the same thing. Luckily, we thought it'd be great for you to access it as a customer, as an audience, on an Android or tablet. Therefore, we have designed our website to fit in with an Android or tablet. This is what our website looks like on a tablet. So we do have, therefore, a similarity with The Guardian. I'm highlighting that you can view our website in all different areas, which I think is key. As you can see at the top, we do have links to each page. This is the same as The Guardian, however they have many more links than us because they are an international news base. However, as you can see, The Guardian and its logo title is a lot higher than the links here at the bottom, whereas ours is on the same level. That's something that completely separates us, however it's not something too big. But as you can see, if you scroll throughout The Guardian, there are not many videos at all. There's one here, and I'm sure there's a couple further down, for example here, but they do use a lot more images. However, since our audience is actually the youth and the younger generation, we have incorporated a video straight on our website as well as on our news page, which we're constantly updating. We incorporate many more videos just because we feel they'll be more interested as an audience member. However, the key similarity between us and The Guardian is the comment is free section, which is very important. Comment is free allows people to comment on news posts and state their opinion and how they feel. As you can see, there's 888 comments here, as well as 354 comments here. We thought this is something that we should really incorporate in our website, which makes us similar. Therefore, we created an FAQ section, which allows us to answer the most frequently asked questions on a daily or weekly basis. This allows the audience to get a key understanding of how we like to interact with them and what they would like to know. We're always asking for feedback. For example, on our news page, on one of our first posts, interaction we think is key. So here, as you can see, you can leave any comment on the contact page, in which you will post and reply. So if the audience member goes to the contact page and fills out their form, we will put the question on the FAQ as soon as possible after about 24 hours so other people can view the questions. This is something that is a key similarity between us and The Guardian. It's something that allows us all to interact across the World Wide Web, as it's constantly diversifying and just becoming so big. It's important that we all communicate with each other. If I go on to our About page, it's more about the Long Live South Bank campaign. We thought it was really key just to highlight and give people a better understanding of what it is, whereas if you were to go into the Guardian website, it would tell you how they're founded and more of the background to how the Guardian actually developed. I think it's because the Guardian is such an international basis that people just know what to do and know where to go, and as it's already established, they already have a significant amount of viewers coming in, whereas we really want to focus on our niche market to bring in everybody who's interested in skateboard to get the views up. We think that's really, really important. But apart from that, both Ramps News and The Guardian do not have dates or times on their websites, which is something that we have in common. However, it's something that maybe both of us could develop to make better, because I'm sure BBC News has that. And there are interactive elements of both websites, which is a key similarity between us. The text is slightly different, obviously, because The Guardian is more established and I guess it's more professional, more to an older generation, whereas ours to a younger generation. So this is clear text for everybody to see, the same as ours, but we've made ours slightly more funky, just so people don't get bored, because the younger generation are not interested in that much text, so we've kept it very short and simple. But for now, I think the similarities and differences, I think there's a big contrast between us and The Guardian, and I think there are things that we can improve on our website. However, I think it's just something that we're very proud of, and to be able to make our website be viewed on a tablet the same as The Guardian, just think it's great. So there are the similarities and differences between us and The Guardian. So today I'm going to be talking to you about opening sequences, and I'm going to be talking about ITV News, and I'm going to be talking to you about Ramps News and comparing our opening sequences. And I'm just going to talk about the similarities and differences between the two. So as you can see, one of the biggest comparisons between the two is the colour contrast. As you can see in ITV News, it is bright, it is white, it is very clear, it's very enduring. It really does capture somebody's eye, mainly because I would say it's a massive production company for news. However, when you contrast it to ours, we are very dark, not in a specific way, but we're more colour and we're more down to the youth, if in a way, I guess, because we are completely different genres. ITV News focuses on a completely global scale, whereas as Ramps News literally just focuses on a niche. So that's one of the biggest differences between the two opening sequences, is the colour contrast. Generally just because they speak to different audiences. However, there are also similarities, I would say. So I'd say that a similarity would be between the way the framework works on both of the opening sequences. As you can both see in ITV's and Ramps News, they're both in a square shape, and the border frame of the individual segments of footage, that is also a similarity. So we've got the similarity of having different pieces of footage in the whole entire frame, as well as the fact that they're both in the same shape form, which is a square. I think that's quite a good similarity. Only reason being, it shows that we are still along the lines of, even though we're just a niche on skateboarding, we are still on the lines of the same massive production companies such as ITV News. So therefore, if people already associate to, okay, this is ITV News, and we're similar, they may associate, okay, they're a really good news package as well. So that is one similarity, which I think just works in our favour. It just shows that we also can apply ourselves and still come into the fact that we can be around large production companies, and we can, I wouldn't say associate, but we almost fit in with them. So further you can see is the cutaways and the zoom outs, and the way the transitions between both the images and the pieces of footage. This I would say it links slightly. I wouldn't say it links completely, but we do have the zoom outs and the cutaways, and that is very, very similar to ITV News. I think it's just something that floats whoever's boat it is, and I think that's just a similarity that we both have. So I think something else that is a really large contrast is the music, and that is completely different. And I would say that ITV and all other news production companies such as BBC and Channel 4 News, they all have music on a similar level, whereas we completely differentiate from ITV News, as our music is slightly more urban, it's got more of a kick to it. And however, even though our music does fit in with our news package, it's something completely different that people would associate to a news opening sequence. ITV News, they've got the dip, they've kind of got the countdown, and they've got that very somatic music that constantly, it keeps going, it's got the same rhythm, whereas we're, excuse my singing, but it's just a completely different rhythm. And I think maybe for us that might bring viewers and audience members in. Maybe they might find it something more interesting, because sometimes people hear the music and they think, oh, the news, but maybe this is something that is completely different and may work in our favour. But however, that is still a huge contrast between us and many other news packages. Whether it will work in our favour or not, we don't know. So if in the future it might be something to take into consideration, maybe people might not take it as a piece of news, or might not take it seriously because it's not in line and it's not the same as all the other news packages around. So moving on, I think the next thing I'm going to talk about is the Iden. We just have ramps coming up at the end, and that is quite cool. I quite like that. And ITV News is very different. The writing, not so much. The Iden kind of like slides on, and that is just something that's a contrast. That just depends on, like I said, whoever floats the boat of each production company. That is just something that it's just down to anybody. I don't think it makes a difference. It's not a large contrast. It's just something that's different. So the next similarity to talk about is the actual footage that is in both pieces of the opening sequence, and we specifically kept our footage on the topic of skateboarding. You see skateboarders, you see everything to do with skateboarding that's in our opening sequence. That's just the association of what we're going to talk about. Whereas if you look at ITV News, they're completely more diverse, more multicultural. They're completely on a global scale. They show sports, they show culture, they show the sea, they show so much, as you can see, and that is just something that they associate. So it's a contrast, because obviously we're talking about different topics, but it's a key similarity showing that both of us are focused on the niche that we're trying to present to the audience. So they stick on a global scale and we'll stick on a niche scale with the skateboarding. So I think that's just a similarity that is very, very good, and I think all news packages do that. So yeah, so I think that our news opening sequence is very aligned with ITV News. We do have our contrast, but I think it is actually on a similar level. It's got the same ideology, and it's something that could continue to grow.